Hello, my name is Andrew. I'm from Harrington Park and a graduate of Northern Valley 2005. I'm a person in long-term recovery from addiction. What that means is that I have not taken a drug or drank alcohol since August 21st of 2012. I've been asked today to give a brief testimonial on my experience living in Northern Valley prior to my recovery. I came from a great home, a very loving family, and was given every opportunity possible to succeed in life. I never had any disciplinary issues growing up, and throughout high school, played varsity football, and had plenty of friends. I started drinking socially when I was a freshman in high school, as did many of my peers. I started smoking pot when I was 15, as did many of my peers. And by senior year of high school, was drinking most weekends, smoking pot 2 to 3 times a week, and knew plenty of people experimenting with cocaine, prescription drugs like Xanax and Vicodin. I went off to study business at Ohio State University after high school. In short, by the end of my junior year, I was heavily addicted to OxyContin, drinking and doing cocaine regularly, as well as trying anything else I could get my hands on. None of which were accolades I aspired to have when I started at Ohio State. The next 4 years of my life consisted of much pain and suffering for me, but more so for my family. I was in and out of school, moved back and forth between Ohio and Northern Valley multiple times. I burned through thousands of dollars, stole, cheated, lied, and burned every relationship I had with those closest to me to the ground. It took the better part of a decade of my life to finally get the help I needed. Now, I know plenty of people, both older and younger, from the same Northern Valley neighborhoods who have had a very similar experience to mine. I've seen addiction turn good kids with promising futures into lifeless beings. I've watched kids as young as 15 and 16 years old in Northern Valley spend hundreds of dollars on everything from prescription pills to cocaine to heroin. My point is that drugs are everywhere. Access to them is fairly easy, and the demographic of people doing them seems to hold no prejudice. I can recount various times in my early 20s rolling into Northern Valley Ultimate parking lot and buying OxyContin from a student during school hours. I have plenty of friends who went to Northern Valley Demarest as well, and the same thing seems to be going on there. Reflecting on my own experience, it is evident that only after years of drug abuse that I ever really started to suffer any consequences for my actions. It wasn't until my life started spiraling completely out of control that I realized the severity of my situation and how bad the stuff I was doing was messing up my life. Before this time, I had never once feared any sort of consequence for my actions, both in high school and in college. Yes, I learned drugs were bad for me, but I was under the belief that a drug addict was a title resigned for the homeless and inherently bad people, not someone like me. I want to make it clear that this message is not meant to bash the school system of Northern Valley, nor to place the blame on parents, teachers, administrators, or any other authority figures. I firmly believe that Northern Valley is a great place to live with great people. But prescription drug abuse and its capability of leading people to harder substances has become an epidemic. I know this due to my work with a collegiate recovery organization at Ohio State. I understand the position against random drug testing, as I would have hated it too in high school. But if it can save one family from the emotional pain and financial burden of rehabilitation, I believe it's worth it. If it can be used to show one kid the severity of his situation and push them to get the help they need, it's worth it. I am not calling for a publicized witch hunt here, nor do I think tarnishing young people's lives with criminal records is the way to go. Rather, I think such tools as random drug testing, in conjunction with some other disciplinary action and aid, would be beneficial to the entire student body and create a safer learning environment for everyone. Thank you.